A profound shift is about to take place that will leave everyone around you speechless. It may be hard to believe now, but the world is about to be shocked by who you really are. Even your family, those who thought they knew you like the back of their hand, will be perplexed. Often, the biggest changes happen away from prying eyes. While the world seemed to move on, you were quietly facing battles that no one saw. You might have doubted yourself, questioning whether it was all worth it. But deep down, something was happening, a secret process, like a seed germinating in the darkness before breaking through the soil. And now, this inner strength you've cultivated is ready to manifest in a way that no one can ignore. There's something magical about the moments when everyone thinks nothing more can change. That's exactly when the most astonishing surprises occur. Your life is about to become an example of this. When you finally emerge, it will be like a beam of light cutting through the storm. The people around you, family, friends, even strangers, will not know how to react. Your presence will be so transformative that even the most skeptical will have to reconsider everything they believe about overcoming and purpose. What's coming is not just a fresh start, it's an awakening. Imagine the surprise in people's eyes as they see the confidence that now accompanies you, the glow that lights your path. It's not just about changing others' perceptions, it's about showing yourself that you are capable of much more than you imagined. It's as if every obstacle that tried to stop you now propels your journey forward. You are not returning to the starting point, you are creating a new beginning. This transformation is bigger than you. It's not just about your story, but the impact it will have on those who witness it. Your life will be a living message, proving that moments of silence and difficulty are not the end, but rather the preparation for a calling. Those who see you, whether relatives or strangers, will not only notice the change but will feel the energy of something greater, something that inspires, challenges, and invites everyone to believe in their own rebirths. What many people don't understand is that the biggest transformations do not come with announcements or audiences. They occur in silence, behind the scenes of life, where no one can see. It was there, away from the gaze, that you faced the toughest storms, those that leave no visible traces but shape the spirit irreversibly. Every tear that fell, every doubt that arose, every endless night of questioning, all these experiences were building something extraordinary. You might not have realized it at the time, but each challenge was like a chisel in the hands of a divine sculptor, carving a version of you that not even those closest could have predicted. Now, all of that emerges as a force that can no longer be contained, a presence that demands to be noticed. And when that presence manifests, something changes. It's not just you who feels it, it's as if the environment around you reacts to this transformation. People who previously saw you as ordinary, or perhaps even underestimated your strength, are now confronted with something inexplicable. It's almost palpable, an energy that causes everyone to pause for a moment, confused, intrigued, and unable to ignore. Even those who thought they knew every detail about you, your family, close friends, need to adjust their gaze. What they witness now is something rare, almost mythical, seen only in stories that inspire generations. The impact doesn't stop at the initial surprise. As the dust of shock settles, people begin to realize what stands before them, a transformation so profound it cannot be explained by mere circumstances. Here is where you become more than just an example of overcoming, you become a symbol of what is possible. Your journey, previously hidden and solitary, now serves as a reminder that even the most challenging situations can be platforms for spectacular rebirths. You become a beacon for those still lost in their own deserts, showing, without many words, that there is always something greater waiting on the other side of hardships. But not everything is easy to comprehend for those watching from the outside. Some may even feel discomfort in the face of the intensity of this transformation. They might try to minimize what they see, attributing your change to something they can understand. After all, the unknown always stirs unease. But deep down, even the skeptics know there is something beyond the ordinary in your return. They feel it. It's something that cannot be explained by mundane reasons, something that transcends. This force is not just a change, it's a call, a declaration to the world that you are here for something greater. And as much as they try to ignore or rationalize, they cannot escape the truth: you have become someone who cannot be ignored. Throughout this journey, what once seemed like an end reveals itself as the beginning of something you hadn't even imagined. Every step you took, even those that seemed wrong or lost, was part of a greater trail, guided by something beyond your comprehension. And now, as you look back, you see how all the pieces fit perfectly. The rejection you faced, the doors that closed, even the moments of complete despair, all brought you exactly here. There are no more doubts. Your journey was carefully orchestrated so that, at this moment, you could shine. And this shine is not just for you but to illuminate the paths of those who cross your story. The people around you, even those who used to ignore your presence or underestimate your strength, now find themselves compelled to pay attention. It's not just about your appearance or what you say, but something deeper, something that emanates from you in an almost supernatural way. It's as if your presence carries a different weight, an energy that fills the room and leaves everyone in silence. Many try to understand what has changed, but they cannot find the words. It's not something that can be easily explained, it is felt. You have become an enigma, and this mystery compels them to question not only who you are now but also who they themselves are. After all, if someone can be reborn so powerfully, what does that say about the limitations they themselves have imposed on themselves? This strength you now radiate is not the result of luck or chance. It is the direct outcome of every moment you chose to stand up when it seemed impossible, of every decision to persist even when no one believed. You have transformed suffering into wisdom, rejection into resilience, and adversity into a strength few possess. People may imagine that your journey was easy, but only you know the price of each scar, the weight of each tear shed in silence. And that is exactly what makes your transformation so powerful. It was not handed to you, it was earned. And now, it shines like an invisible trophy, a living testimony that the greatest challenges are those that reveal true greatness. This return is not just a moment of personal glory, it is an event that redefines the stories of those around you. Your family, who thought they knew every facet of your essence, now sees a side of you they never imagined. They watch you with eyes of surprise and respect, trying to comprehend how someone can emerge so differently, so strong, so complete. And it is in this instant that they realize, what you have lived through was not just a change, it was a rebirth. The initial surprise gives way to an inevitable recognition that something greater is at play. You are no longer just part of their story, you have become the turning point, the living proof that everything can change when there is purpose and determination. The impact of your transformation echoes in ways you may not yet realize. People who once saw you as an equal now find inspiration, wishing to find in themselves the courage to change. Your return becomes a kind of mirror, reflecting possibilities that once seemed unattainable. It is not just about admiration, it is a silent call for everyone to examine their own lives and recognize where they can be reborn. Your journey is no longer just your own, it becomes a map for those who are still lost. And so, without even realizing it, you begin to illuminate paths you did not know existed. But this light you now carry also comes with a weight. Some, unable to handle the brilliance you radiate, may pull away, unable to face their own shadows that your transformation exposes. Do not be surprised if this happens, it is natural. Not everyone is ready to face the greatness of such a radical change. Yet, your presence will continue to be a powerful reminder that transformation is possible, that even the most ordinary lives can become extraordinary. You are not just returning, you are redefining what it means to exist, and that is something no one can ignore. When someone undergoes such a profound transformation, it is inevitable that their very essence begins to influence everything and everyone around them. Your presence now carries a type of gravity that attracts attention, even from those who previously seemed indifferent. It is not something you do consciously, it is who you have become. And this new version of you, shaped by invisible battles and silent victories, exudes a confidence that cannot be simulated. Those around you feel it, even if they do not fully understand it. Some may approach, fascinated by the energy you radiate, while others pull away, troubled by the intensity that your transformation carries. But one thing is certain, no one remains indifferent. In the midst of this whirlwind of reactions, you begin to realize something fundamental: your journey was not just about you. Each challenge you faced, each obstacle you overcame, had a greater purpose. Now, your return is more than a personal milestone, it is a declaration to the world that human resilience is capable of extraordinary feats. People who once saw you as an equal now begin to see you as an inspiration. They are not just admiring what you have achieved, but also reflecting on what they can achieve. Your life becomes, involuntarily, an invitation for others to also awaken to their own possibilities. It is as if your transformation opens doors that many did not even know existed. This impact is not limited to acquaintances or family, it crosses barriers. Even strangers, those who cross your path by chance, are touched by the energy you transmit. Maybe it's a simple gesture, a smile, or even your posture, which now carries a different weight. These small interactions may seem insignificant to you, but for those who receive them, they are transformative moments. There is something in you that says, without words, that change is possible, that there is something greater waiting for those who have the courage to face their own storms. And that is what makes your return not just a personal event, but a catalyst for changes that spread like waves in a lake. However, this new position also requires from you a careful balance. Not everyone who approaches does so with pure intentions. Some may feel threatened by what you represent, while others may try to take advantage of the strength you now carry. Here is where you learn the importance of discernment. Knowing who deserves access to your energy and who needs to be kept at a distance is a skill that becomes crucial. Your light is precious, but it is also vulnerable, and protecting this light is part of your new journey. It is not about building walls, but about creating filters that ensure your energy is used to nurture, not to be drained. At the same time, you begin to understand that your return is not the end of a journey, but the beginning of another, even more grandiose. Each step you take now is charged with meaning. Each choice, each word, each action becomes part of a legacy that you are building, often without realizing it. This is not just a moment of glory, it is a platform for something much greater. Your life now is like a torch, illuminating paths that others can follow, inspiring those who are still in the darkness of their own struggles to believe that they too can find the light. And this is the true magic of your return, it does not end with you. It spreads, multiplies, and transforms everything around you. As your transformation becomes evident, something profound begins to happen. You realize that you are not just returning, you are bringing with you a message, a living proof that the moments of greatest difficulty are, in fact, invitations to a more powerful reconstruction. It is as if each scar you carry tells a story, not of defeat, but of rebirth. These invisible marks, which only you know the weight of, now become reminders for everyone who crosses your path. Adversity does not destroy, it reveals. And that is what confuses and inspires those around you. How can someone face so much and yet emerge with such strength and clarity? This question, which everyone silently asks, is the spark that challenges them to look at their own lives with new eyes. Before continuing, if you feel that you are on a solitary and sometimes challenging journey as a chosen one, our ebook might be a valuable resource for you. In it, you will find guidance and insights that will help illuminate your path and better understand your unique experiences and gifts. Additionally, you will have access to our exclusive community on Discord. This group is a space where many, who may feel alone or misunderstood, have already found support, understanding, and affection. It is a place to share, learn, and grow together, where your unique experiences are valued and your progress is celebrated. Imagine being part of a community that truly understands and supports who you are. Check out the pinned first comment here on the video and join this group. There is an inexplicable force that arises when someone breaks through boundaries that once seemed insurmountable. It's not just about confidence or resilience, it's something greater, almost spiritual. Unintentionally, you become a reference point for those still struggling on their own journeys. They see in you proof that darkness is not permanent, that there is light even in the darkest moments. And this occurs not because you say something in words, it happens because your presence now carries an energy that speaks directly to the heart. Even those who previously distanced themselves, or perhaps doubted you, can no longer ignore what stands before them. You have become a living reminder that transformation is possible, that the impossible can be challenged. At the same time, it's impossible not to notice the hesitation of some. Not everyone is ready to handle the brilliance of such a radical transformation. There are those who feel uncomfortable, as if your light highlights shadows they would prefer to keep hidden. These reactions can be difficult to understand at first, but soon you realize that this is part of the impact you now have. Not everyone is prepared to face what your presence awakens in them. And that's okay. Your journey is not about pleasing everyone, it's about fulfilling the purpose you were called to achieve. Those who are touched by your story will be so at the right moment, when they are ready to hear what your transformation has to teach. In this scenario, you begin to see your own return with different eyes. What previously seemed like a simple fresh start now reveals itself as something much bigger, a calling, a mission. You understand that your transformation is not just for you, it is for everyone who has the privilege of witnessing it. Every step you take, every choice you make, every barrier you break, all becomes a trail for others to follow. Whether they are family, friends, or strangers, your impact spreads silently but powerfully. You don't need to convince anyone of anything. Your own journey is the message. And this message is clear: there is greatness in each of us, just waiting for the right moment to emerge. What is most fascinating is realizing that, despite all the transformation, you are still just beginning. Everything you've lived through so far was preparation. Each lesson, each challenge, each silent victory was a piece of a larger puzzle that is now beginning to reveal itself. The return is not the final destination, it is the starting point for something even more grandiose. And this realization brings with it a new energy, a new motivation. You are no longer just surviving, you are creating, transforming, shaping the world around you with every movement. And, as you advance, you realize that your journey, as unique and personal as it is also universal. Because in the end, we all seek the same thing: to be reborn, to transform, and to leave a legacy that echoes far beyond our lives. When you start to see your journey as part of something larger, a new type of clarity emerges. It's not just about the challenges you faced or the victories you achieved, but about the impact all this has now. Each person who crosses your path becomes an opportunity to share this renewed energy, to inspire through example, to be a catalyst for the changes they themselves seek. And, even without realizing it, you begin to sow hope in others. Words are not necessary, the mere fact of being there, existing in this new version of yourself, is enough to touch hearts and open minds. You become a beacon in the darkness, a reminder that, no matter how difficult the path may be, there is always the possibility to start anew. But with this new position also come responsibilities. You begin to realize that you cannot simply return to normality, because what happened to you changed everything. Your worldview is different, your perception of yourself and others is expanded. And with this comes the need to align your actions with this new awareness. It's not just about living for yourself, it's about using what you've learned to positively impact the world around you. This transformation, which began as something personal, now transcends you. Every decision you make, every path you choose, carries a greater weight. You understand that what you do echoes far beyond your own life, affecting those around you in ways you may never see, but that are deeply real. This understanding brings with it a sense of purpose that few experience. You realize that all the difficulties faced, all the doubts and fears, were preparing you for this. It wasn't by chance that you went through everything you did. Every moment, however painful or confusing it may have been, had a greater purpose. Now, you are living proof that even the most difficult circumstances can be used to create something extraordinary. This perception transforms your relationship with the past. Instead of carrying resentments or regrets, you begin to see everything as part of a larger plot, a story that only makes sense when viewed in perspective. What previously seemed to be the end of everything now reveals itself as the exact point where the true journey began. The people around you continue to observe, some with admiration, others with skepticism, but all deeply impacted in some way. Even those who cannot express in words what they feel are touched by your presence. There is something in you that cannot be ignored, something that challenges the ordinary and inspires curiosity. As they observe your transformation, they are compelled to reflect on their own lives, their own paths. And this can be uncomfortable, but it is also necessary. Your journey becomes a mirror, not just to show possibilities but to expose truths that many would prefer to avoid. That's what makes your transformation so powerful. It not only inspires, it challenges. And by challenging, it creates real change. As you move forward, you realize that the journey has no defined end. What began as a process of survival has become something much larger, a continuous movement of growth, learning, and impact. Each new challenge is now seen not as an obstacle, but as an opportunity to further expand your strength and wisdom. You understand that the return is not the climax of your story, it's just the beginning of a new chapter. And with each step, you carry with you the certainty that you are exactly where you should be. Your return, which began as a surprise to everyone, now transforms into a force that cannot be stopped. And deep down, you know, the best is still to come. You begin to realize that your presence not only challenges the people around you but also invites them to see the world differently. Your transformation becomes a reminder that the cycles of life, pain, loss, rebirth, are inevitable, but also essential. Every step you take, every word you pronounce, carries a weight that did not exist before. It's not just your story that matters now, it's the impact it has on the collective. You don't need to be perfect, nor carry the burden of meeting everyone's expectations. Your authenticity, the simple truth of who you are, is enough to illuminate the path for many who are still in the darkness. And that, in itself, is revolutionary. At the same time, you learn that not everyone can keep up with this journey. Some prefer to ignore or minimize your transformation, perhaps out of fear of facing their own limitations. But rather than feeling resentment or trying to prove something, you understand that everyone has their own timing. Your light does not diminish because someone refuses to recognize it. On the contrary, it strengthens as you remain true to what you have become. True strength is not in convincing others but in continuing to move forward, even when recognition does not come. And, by doing so, you discover something even more powerful: the impact you have does not depend on who is watching, but on the integrity with which you live your truth. Your family, initially incredulous, now begins to see the full picture. Those who previously did not understand your absence or judged your choices finally see the purpose behind each moment. They see not only what you have become but also how your transformation directly affects them. It is as if your journey also awakens something in them, a new perception of their own lives and paths. The initial surprise gives way to a silent, almost reverent respect. They know, even if they don't say it in words, that what you have lived through was not just a change. It was a testament to what is possible for anyone willing to face their shadows and embrace their light. And so, the impact of your return begins to spread. Not in a loud or theatrical way, but as a silent wave that grows in intensity. People who were previously disconnected from themselves now find in your story a reason to believe that they too can change. They see in you not an unattainable destination but tangible proof that the impossible is merely a concept created by fear. And, as this wave grows, you realize that your journey is not just your own. It belongs to everyone who has the courage to look inward and ask, what if I could also be reborn? But, as the impact of your transformation spreads, you continue to move forward. Because deep down, you know that the return is not an endpoint, it is just a new beginning. Each step you take brings you closer to what you were truly called to do. What previously seemed like a rebirth now becomes a constant expansion. And with each new phase, you carry the certainty that your story is not just about overcoming but about creating something eternal. A legacy that will not be measured by words or material achievements but by the transformation you inspired in the hearts of those fortunate enough to cross your path. And when you look back at everything you have lived through, from the darkest moments to the instances of victory, you realize that your journey is, in fact, a continuous cycle of learning and evolution. The return, which many see as the peak, is just a station on a path that still holds surprises, challenges, and achievements. Each step you took, each decision you made, each pain you endured, all these experiences now converge into something that transcends your own existence. You are not just someone who overcame, you are someone who transforms, inspires, and resonates. Your presence is a constant reminder that change is possible and that, even in the worst storms, there is a divine force silently working to shape us. And the most astonishing realization is that, as grandiose as your transformation may be, it is not about you. It is about what it provokes in others, about how your courage and resilience become seeds of change in the lives of those privileged to witness your path. People who were previously paralyzed by fear now find in you a reason to believe. They realize, through your example, that it is not necessary to have all the answers or to follow a perfect path. The mere act of continuing, of choosing light over darkness, is enough to transform not just your life but the world around you. Your story becomes a meeting point for all those still seeking hope, a beacon that illuminates even the darkest corners of the soul. As the impact of your journey continues to spread, you realize that you no longer need to seek validation or recognition. True greatness lies in living your mission with integrity, knowing that each purposeful step leaves a legacy. It does not matter if everyone recognizes this now or if the seeds planted will take years to bloom. What matters is that you live aligned with who you truly are, with the strength you discovered within yourself and with the call that can no longer be ignored. And that, in itself, is the greatest achievement of all. You did not return just to surprise, you returned to inspire, to guide, to show that rebirth is possible and necessary. And so we conclude this journey, a testimony to how the return can be more grandiose than anyone imagines. If this message has touched your heart, please like the button below and subscribe to the channel to continue following stories like this. Don't forget to activate notifications so you don't miss the next videos. Share this content with someone who needs inspiration and leave your comment, because we want to hear your story too. I am immensely grateful to everyone who supports us through Buy Me a Coffee. Your support helps us improve our videos each day and always offer the best content. If you also want to support us, the link is in the first pinned comment. Stay here with us and watch the recommended video appearing on the screen now, or follow the playlist of the Secrets of the Chosen, as each episode was created to guide you even deeper into your essence, revealing all the power and potential that dwells within you. Thank you very much for being here and for being part of this community. See you in the next video. Much strength and light on your path, and until next time.